Okay, class. In this video, we'll be discussing linear differential equation. So, ito na yung pang-apat bali natin na i-discuss for equations of order 1. So, a linear differential equation of order 1 is an equation in the form dy over dx plus p of xy is equal to q of x. So, the first term of the equation is the derivative of y with respect to x added to a function of x na pinangalan natin p or p of x multiplied to y and is equal to a function of x na q of x. So, this is a differential equation linear to a dependent variable y. Linear to its dependent variable y rather. So, dito sa equation natin na to class, kailangan para malaman natin kung linear differential equation siya, naka-form siya exactly sa ganitong form talaga. Like, y na first degree, naka-multiply to a function of x, mayroong derivative ng dependent variable natin na y, tas equal siya to a function of x only. So, as in, dapat ganyan yung kalabasan ng isang differential equation para masabi natin na linear siya. So, a differential equation may also be linear in x. So, ang form naman natin nun is dx over dy plus p of yx, a function of y na nakamultiply sa isang x lang. And then, equal siya sa q of y. So, kailangan ma-express natin siya in that term. So, examples. Ito, directo. This is a very obvious linear differential equation. We have dy over dx minus 3 over xy is equal to x raised to the 4th power. So, dy over dx, so yun yung dy over dx as is. Tapos, yung nakamultiply sa y, that is your p of x. So, that is negative 3 over x yan. Ano ba yan? 3 over x. That is the function of x na nakamultiply sa y. That is equal to x raised to 4, and that is our p of x. So, a differential equation is linear if it can be expressed in the form of equations 4 and 5. So, since this is expressed in the form of equation 4, this is a linear differential equation. So, in some cases, hindi nakaayos ng ganyan. So, i-manipulate or reorganize natin dapat yung equation para magmukha siyang ganyan. Another one. We have y plus 1 dx plus 4x minus y dy is equal to 0. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Hindi siya nakaayos. So, hindi natin alam kung linear differential equation ba siya. So, para malaman, ayusin natin yung equation. So, alam natin class na kailangan for the equation, meron tayong dy over dx, di ba? So, or dx over dy, alin dun sa dalawa? Kasi, di ba, sa part ng equation, nagsisimula siya, ang first term, either dx over dy or dy over dx. So, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng either dun sa dalawa. So, ang gawin natin is, tingnan natin yung equation ng mabuti. Mapapansin natin na maraming y, di ba? May y dito, may y dito. So, most likely, hindi natin pwede na ihiwala yung y lang mismo. Diba? Kasi kailangan natin ng either, bukod sa dx over dy, saka or dy over dx, kailangan natin either ng isang x lang, kapag ito yung susundan natin, or isang y lang, kapag dy over dx yung susundan natin. In this case, mahirap na pagsamahin itong dalawang y na to. Diba? So, pero nakita natin yung x, ayan, medyo nakahiwalay siya. So, mas madali natin siya na i-segregate. So, most likely, ang form natin is, so, between these two, ang form natin is this one, y. Kasi, mas madali na ihiwalay yung x kesa dun sa y. Kasi, kailangan natin ng isa lang eh. Isang y kapag itong dy over dx or isang x kapag dx over dy. So, mas madali kung ito yung susundan natin, dy over dx. So, kung ganun yung mangyayari class, kailangan natin ma-form tong dx over dy. So, divide natin yung whole equation by y plus 1 dy para matira na lang dito is dx over dy. So, cancel na to. So, dinivide natin dito yung buong equation. Ang lalabasan class is dx over dy plus 4x minus y plus y ay over y plus 1 is equal to 0. So, next na gawin natin is kailangan mahiwalay natin yung may x. Pag hiniwalay natin yung may x, ito lang yun, 4x. So, magiging dx over dy pala plus 4x over y plus 1 minus y over y plus 1. So, nahiwalay na natin to. May x na nakamultiply dito. So, therefore, nakuha na natin yung p of x natin. Ang p of x p of y pala. Ang p of y natin na nakamultiply sa x, that is equal sa 4 over y plus 1. Tapos, kung nakamultiply siya sa x, ito yon. Minus y over y plus 1, pero lipat natin sa kabila. So, pag nilipat natin sa kabila, para masunod yung form, this is already in the form dx over dy plus p of y times x. Iparin lang natin. Hindi nakakalito. P of yx is equal to q of y. Kasi ang matitira dun sa kabilang side is a function of y. So that's our q of y. So therefore, this equation is linear in x. Now, how to solve naman for the solutions of linear differential equation? So the general solution of a linear differential equation depends on which variable the equation is linear to. So, kailangan muna nating identify ano ba yung form niya sa dalawa instance linear. Linear ba siya sa x? Linear ba siya sa y? So, yung manitsesek natin. Now, to solve this, ang ginagawa natin is we multiply the integrating factor. The integrating factor class is a function by which an ODE can be multiplied to, tapos magiging integrable na siya. So, for differential equations, linear in y and x, the integrating factors ay either sa dalawang to. E raised to p dx or E raised to the integral of p dx or E raised to the integral of p dy. Kapag linear in y, ito yung integrating factor. Kapag linear in x, ito yung integrating factor. So, ang technically class, imumultiply natin to sa buong equation natin ng linear equation. However, hindi na natin papakita yung derivation since didiscuss natin siya kapag nag-integrating factors na tayo. So, para simple, ito na class yung general solution niya. If you have an equation linear in y, we will have the general solution can be given as x e raised to, mali ito, p dx. Ito class, mali. So, this is x e raised to, mali ito. Yan, mali ito class ha. Ito na lang yung tingnan natin. If you have a linear equation, an equation linear in y, the general solution can be obtained by substituting to this equation. We have y e raised to the integral of p dx, wherein p natin is this one. Yung p na to na tinutukoy is this one. Times q of x, obviously, this is the q of x. E raised to p dx, ito pa rin yun, dx plus c. So that is kapag linear in y. Now, kapag linear in x naman, so ito yung form natin dun, di ba? Dx over dy plus p of yx is equals to p of y. Yung ating general solution will be x e raised to the integral of p dy is equal to the integral of q of y e raised to p dy dy plus c. Ito naman nabanggit natin, ito yung integrating factors nila, respective integrating factors. So, napakadali lang yan, class. As in, like, literal, kung ito yung equation nyo, lagay mo lang y e raised to, then kunin mo yung integral nung ano yung p of x mo. Then, equal to, kung ano yung integral ng q of x, lagay mo lang dito. Tapos, e raised to, ano yung integral ng p d of x, tapos kunin mo yung integral ulit, plus c, that's your general solution. So, para makita natin, solve tayo problem. So, we have x raised to the 5th power plus 3y dx minus x dy is equal to 0. So, first natin gagawin is determine muna natin kung linear siya. So, to determine, kailangan lang natin i-arrange yung equation natin. So, pag in-arrange natin yan, tingnan muna natin alin kaya most likely maglilinear yan, sa y or sa x. So, makikita natin dito pa lang class, meron ng x raised to the 5th power. So, obviously, this will not be linear in x kasi dapat, kung linear yan in x, meron kang isa na x lang. Agad-agad x raised to the 5th power agad yan. So, most likely, we should be moving towards an equation linear in y. So, if that's the case, so kailangan magkaroon tayo ng dy over dx. So, tanggalin natin tong x na to dito by dividing the whole equation by x, and then para magka dy over dx, divide natin yung whole equation by dx. So, we will arrive class at x raised to the 5th power plus 3y over x minus 3y dx. Minus dy over dx is equal to 0. So, next na gawin natin, kailangan makuha natin yung y, di ba? So, para makuha yung y, hiwalay natin to. Paghiwalay natin tong term na to. So, pag pinaghiwalay natin yan, magiging x raised to the 5th over x, that's x raised to 4. Tapos 3y over x, that is 3y over x pa rin, minus dy over dx. Pero negative yung dy over dx, so lipat natin sa kabila, lahat, transpose natin yung buong equation, we will arrive at dy over dx minus 3 over xy is equal to x raised to the 4th power. So therefore, it is linear in y. So kapag linear siya in y, dun pwede na natin gamitin yung general solution for y. So if that's the case, class, ang p of x natin is equal to negative 3x. Bakit negative? Kasi di ba dapat plus to. So kung plus yan, ibig sabihin negative to, yung p of x mo. So ang p of x natin is negative 3 over x. Ang p of x natin is x raised to the 4th power. So ang integrating factor natin is, remember, the integrating factor is e raised to the integral of p dx. So, para hindi tayo mahirapan, class, sa pagsosolve, unti-untiin natin. Huwag nating biglain kumbaga yung pagsosolve. Diba, ang general solution natin is y, back ko na lang. Hindi, sige na, sunod ko na. Y e raised to the integral of p dx, p of x dx, ay equal sa integral ng u of x e raised to the integral of p dx plus c. So, para hindi tayo mahirapan, class, solve muna natin to. So, yung integrating factor, para hindi na siya mahirap i-substitute. Para sa substitute na lang natin siya mismo kung ano yung integrating factor natin. So, kunin muna natin siya. So, ang p dx natin, or ang p natin rather, is negative 3 over x times dx. So, integrate natin yan. We will have, ilabas natin yung negative 3. So, we have negative 3 integral of dx over x. That is an obvious ln na logarithm. So, we will arrive at e raised to negative 3 ln x. But same siya ng base. But before that pala, kailangan i-multiply muna natin yung negative 3. Ito palang naka-multiply na negative 3, maging power muna siya. So, we will arrive at e ln x raised to negative 3. But since e raised to ln yan, so makakancel yung ln, saka yung e, we will have, ang integrating factor natin is x raised to negative 3. So, papalitan natin yung lahat ng e raised to p dx ng x raised to negative 3 or 1 over x cubed. Substitute. Ito yung general solution natin. Palitan natin itong e raised to p dx saka e raised to p dx na yan. We will have y x raised to the negative 3 is equal to the integral of x to the 4th power times x raised to the negative 3 dx plus c. Pwedeng wala na itong over 2 muna. Pero, ayan, nilagay lang natin yung c over 2 to anticipate yung resulting na equation. Pero, yun nga, c over 2 equal to c, parehas lang yan. So, we will arrive at, magka-cancel ito. So, matitira na lang is x. So, we will have y times x raised to the negative 3 is equal to the integral of x dx plus c over 2. So, integrate natin yan. We will have, plus baba na natin itong negative 3. We will have y over x cubed is equal to x squared plus 2 over c plus 2. Multiply natin by 2x cubed para mawalan tayo ng denominator. So, we will arrive at 2y is equal to x raised to 5 plus cx cubed. So, baka dito sa class sa part na to nalito ha. Nalito sa part na to. So, kung malilito dyan sa part na yan, maintain natin siya na capital C. Capital C, di ba? Kung ganong class yung case, ang lalabas dyan is magiging, pag minultiply natin siya sa 2, magkakaroon tayo ng 2 capital C. And 2 capital C is numerical pa rin naman yan, di ba? And since arbitrary naman yung value niyan, pwedeng C na lang din yung ilagay natin. So, pwede rin siya dito. So, dapat familiar na when it comes to this one kapag nandito na tayo sa part na to. Another example, we have y plus 1 dx plus 4x minus y dy is equal to 0. Again, check natin. Ano yung pinakamadaling paraan para magawin siyang linear? Or saan kaya siya most likely linear? Sa x kaya or sa y? So, sa itsura pa lang class, may y na tayo dito, may y pa tayo dito. So, most likely, this is linear in x. So, kung linear siya in x, kailangan natin magkaroon ng dx over dy. So, dun dapat tayo papunta kapag nag-manipulate tayo ng equation. So, we will have, divide natin yung whole equation by y plus 1 over dy para makancel yung y plus 1 dito. Ang matira is dx over dy. So, mag-arrive tayo class at dx over dy plus 4x minus y over y plus 1. Paghiwalayin ulit natin to, so we will arrive at dx over dy plus 4x over y plus 1 minus y plus y over y plus 1 is equal to 0. Transpose natin sa kabila. So, we will have this equation wherein our p of y is equal to, nasa next na slide yata. Ayan, ang p of y natin is 4 over y plus 1 and ang q natin or q of y is y over y plus 1. Next, we take the integrating factor which is this one. So, this is our p. So, substitute natin dito. So, we will have e raised to the integral of 4 over y plus 1. Tanggalin natin yung 4, ilabas natin siya. And then, this is an ln. So, we have e raised to the 4th ln y plus 1. Lipat natin yung 4 dito para maging e raised to ln y plus 4 squared. Cancel yan. Dahil same base ng ln is e, we will have y plus 1 raised to the 4th power. That is our integrating factor. Now, substitute natin ngayon yun doon. So, this is the general solution for an equation linear in x. So, substitute natin yung integrating factor dito and then evaluate natin yung equation. So, we have x times y plus 1 raised to the 4th power is equal to the integral of y over y plus 1 times the integrating factor pa rin, which is y plus 1 raised to the 4th power dy plus c. So, simplify natin para mas madali. We will have x over y plus 1 raised to the 4th power is equal to the integral of, cancel na itong nasa baba, minus 1 naman to. So, we have y times y plus 1 cubed dy plus c. So, integrate na natin yan. Now, the integration that we will do class is integration by parts. So, kung makita kasi natin class, we have this term, saka itong term na to. So, kumbaga, tutuusin, we have two functions. Itong function na to, tapos itong function na to. Tapos, kukunin mo yung, integral. So, we use integration by parts. So, kailangan, pag-familiar pa rin kayo dito, makapag-review sana. So, ang formula lang naman natin for integration by parts is, nanggaling kasi yon sa uv is equal to the integral of u dv plus the integral of v du. So, if you have the integral of u dv, then uv is equal, then it is equal to, magbura. Then UV is equal to, UDV is equal to, sorry. So, integral of UDV is equal to UV minus V du. So, yan yung gusto natin makuha. So, yung hahanap tayo ng pwedeng maging U, hahanap tayo ng pwedeng maging dV. Tapos, perform natin tong equation na to. So, in this case, let U be equal to Y. And therefore, ang du natin is dy. If you take the derivative of y, that is dy. Kasi kailangan natin yung dito. Kailangan natin ng du, kailangan natin ng v, kailangan natin ng u, kailangan natin ng dv. So if you have u, if you let y be your u, then you also need du, and that is dy. So therefore, kung ang y mo, if this is your equation, teka lang, isulat natin para, ayan. So if this is your equation, this is your u, this will be your dv. So kunin natin yan. So therefore, ang dv mo ngayong class, kung y ay u, y mo is u, then your dv will be y plus 1 cube dy. So next, kailangan mo rin ng v. So to get the v, integrate mo to. So kapag in-integrate mo yan, the result will be, power rule lang, 1 over 4 plus y times y plus 1 raised to the 4th power. O, integration by parts lang, substitute na natin. Ito yun, no? So udv is equal to uv minus integral of v du. So u times v, so u times v, that's y times v. So that is equal to 1 over 4 y times y plus 1 raised to the 4th power minus the integral of v du. Ang v mo is, ito, negative 1/4, y plus 1 raised to the 4th power. Ito yon. Tapos, times du. Ang du mo ay dy. So, times dy. So, nilabas natin yung 1/4 plus c. So, ito yung kinalabasan. We can now integrate. If we integrate that, we will have, so, same pa rin yung hanggang dito. Ang maiba lang is, we will have 1 over 20, since ang gagawin natin is power rule pa din, times y plus 1 raised to the 5th power plus c. Now, ginawa ko na 1 over 20 c kasi imumultiply din naman natin yan sa 20 mamaya. So, dapat by this time, kaya nyo na parang navisualize nyo na ano kaya yung pwede kong gawin sa c. Ito yung sinasabi ko na very important na pwede natin gawin. Although, kayo rin naman, kung ayaw nyo baguhin yung c, nalilito kayo, walang problema. Magre-reflect pa rin yung tamang arbitrary constant kapag nag-substitute tayo ng initial values. So, nasa sa inyo. But to make things easier and more simple and mas maganda sa mata, so dapat matutunan nyo na kung paano to. And matututunan nyo lang yon by solving a lot of problems. So, if you solve all of the equations or all of the exercises na binigay ko, makukuha nyo siya. So, multiply natin yung whole equation by 20 times y plus 1 raised to the negative 4. So, para makancel to. Mawala tong y plus 1 raised to the negative 4th power. Tsaka yung 20 dito sa baba. So, mangyari class, we will have 20x is equal to 5y minus y plus 1 plus cy plus 1 raised to the negative 4 raised to the negative 4. Simplify lang natin. We will arrive class at minus lang yan. Same, combine the same terms. We'll have 20x is equal to 4y minus 1 plus c times y plus 1 raised to the negative 4. So this is your general solution. So take note class, dito pa lang kung nakuha na natin yung general solution, dito pa lang. However, sinisimplify lang natin siya. So, any of those answers ay tama. Pero, unless may sinabi ng instructions na kailangan nakaganito siya na form, naka-equal sa x, walang coefficient yung x, etc., etc. So, that is it for linear differential equations.